Marley here, and welcome to the DIY Floral Design Studio, marleysflowers.ca, helping you to discover your flower power to DIY with a professional eye. You can do it. I am so happy and grateful that you're joining me today. Please do not hesitate to give me a little thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, share a video, and comment. Any information you need to know about me will be in the description box below. If you are new, welcome in. And if you're returning, hey! Thank you so much for joining me again. I will let you know also that I currently do not have a website, nor will I be soliciting you for any funds or services. My floral consultations, my blueprints, are currently closed until August. And with the housekeeping out of the way, let's get started. All right, today we're making bows, and we're making the fun ones and the easy ones. So I hope you're ready. I hope you have some material or some ribbon so that you can join in and work with me. And even if you don't have a bow, use some Kleenex. Just practice. All right, perfect. So I will remind you of my book called Bows, and this is available on Amazon. This is more of a instructional, so it gives you measurements, etc., terms. It also tells you a little bit about my flower power story. And this will be a complement to the videos that we're doing now and an added support. I understand that some people prefer to see like measurements, etc., and I have done that here in the book. And the measurements will actually help you for when you start doing floral designs, so that your floral designs are going to be proportionate and your bows are going to be proportionate to the vase as well. All right, so check it out. It's available on Amazon. It's also available in e-format on Applebooks, Barnes & Nobles, Hoopla, Kobo, and many other digital outlets. I will leave the list in the description box. Go ahead and get yourself a copy today. All right, so I have pre-cut some ribbon in front of me. I know you can't see it, but I can, and I'll show you. So the first one, this is going to be 1.5 inches in width, all right? And it's a patterned ribbon, and it's also cotton with wire down the seams, okay? So you can see that when you bend it, see the shape, it stays any way you bend it. And it's fantastic for practicing. So I would say that if you're going to start your flower power journey with me, go ahead and get some wired ribbon so that you can practice your bows. And I mean, once you get the rhythm of your bows, you can use almost anything, okay? So remember, the first step that we do to make our bows is we find our end or beginning, depending on how you look at life. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to fold that down and make our first loop. And now because I am using a wider ribbon today, I'm using my both hands, and I'm using my index finger and my thumb, okay? And we're just going to kind of squash it or squish it together like that, okay? And now we're going to take the bottom piece, we're lifting up, and we're going to loop and grasp. Now, because it is only one-sided, we're going to give it a twist, and we're going to then loop and grasp. The bottom is always fine, but once you reach the top, again, we're going to twist and loop and grasp, okay? And there's the bottom. And we have a nice train and we have a nice bow. Now, just to make things easier, we're going to tie it off with a pipe cleaner. And remember, it's like this, okay? So like an N or a V or a U, whichever letter you prefer. And no, I am not shaking, it's just a wire. I'm not nervous. All right, so we're going to replace the pipe cleaner with our finger and thumb. And we're going to put that together so that we replace our finger and our thumb with the pipe cleaner. Sorry. And then we're going to give it a squeeze, and we're going to twist, 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 twist. Just like that. There we go. And now you have your beautiful bow, and you can go ahead and make any adjustments you need to make now so that it can be beautiful, right? And you can see it retains its shape so easily. Definitely worth the investment. See? And there you go. And that's your first bow. All right. Secondly, I have a piece of mesh, and this was on a spool that was 10 inches wide, and I just cut piece. And yeah, the sides are kind of rugged and they're not very pretty, okay? But that's okay, we can still make a beautiful bow with it. So what we're going to do in this case, I'm actually going to fold it a little bit. So I'm using my both hands again, and I'm using my finger and thumb, and I'm folding it, and I did have to find my end, so then I'm going to fold it down. Okay, and I just started a different way, I know that, so don't be alarmed. You can work it any way that you can. So instead of doing this way, but like I usually do, I just did it this way. It's not, it's just whatever. It has nothing to do with anything. You can just do it any way you want, okay? So just to keep it continuity, there we go. And I'm just going to adjust the sides a little bit as I go, okay? So loop and grasp, 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 and loop and grasp, okay? And now you just want to make sure that those sides are tucked in so nobody has to see the messiness of the cut. And there we go, and we have a beautiful bow. And this one I'm going to top with some curling ribbon, okay? So let me get my curling ribbon, and there we go, and our handy dandy scissors. There we go, and we're just going to use the ribbon to replace our finger, our index finger and our thumb. Okay, so we're just going to tie it off here, and let's see if I'm getting it. There we go, and we're going to give it a tight squeeze. There we go, and there we have our beautiful bow. Ta-da! Gorgeous, excelente. Okay, now that's number 2. So the third bow we're going to make is another mesh one, but this was a more decorative. And again, you can tell that on both sides, pretty much the same. So what are we going to do? Yes, find our end or our beginning. That's right. And we're just going to fold it down. And this ribbon is about, I think is 3 inches wide. So again, like you can see, I just quickly used my my index finger and thumb, and I just squashed it and looped it all in one shot. That's how fast you're going to be. All right, and then we're going to loop again, and loop again, loop again, loop again, loop again. So remember, loop and grasp, loop and grasp, loop and grasp. And there we go. And we are done, and we have a beautiful train with this one. There we go, excelente. And for this one, I'm going to use wire. I have my piece of wire. I'm just going to bend it into an N or into a U or a V, whichever letter you prefer. However, we're going to use that to cover or replace our index finger and our thumb. Comme ça. And then we're going to give it a little bit of a squeeze and then a twist. So twist, 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 twist. And there you go. You have a beautiful, beautiful bow. And you can make your adjustments now, like anyhow that you feel that you need to do, it's fine. You make your adjustments and fix your bow. Excellent. Okay, so remember what we did last week? We added bows together. Let's try that with these. So we have the red, we have the beautiful decorative bow, and we're just going to use our curling ribbon, and we're going to tie it in between the bigger bow, which is the decorative bow, and we're just going to tie it off. I always make two knots. That's just me. I like to make sure it's secure. There we go, and it's done. Watch that wire, and there we go, and it is done. And now we just make the adjustments to our bow. I'm not going to curl the edges or the curling ribbon right now. I just want you to see how this bow looks with the other one in it. See, it's very pretty, and it's a bit bigger, which is nice still too. And this is beautiful for a ceremony. Definitely good for like pews when you're having a wedding. good for deco. You can make a garland with this. You can decorate with this. Very, very versatile. All right. You can do it. I told you you could. So I hope you enjoyed today. I'm going to give you, show you a little selection of some other bows that I made so that you can get an idea of how they go on vases. Here's one. Let me see. And this one is tied around the vase. Okay. And then I used a curling ribbon, of course, to just make it curly and make it cutesy. That's that. Let's get another smaller one first. Now this one I did it with wire, okay? And I actually created my own stem. So this is actually a piece of stem from a silk flower, and I wrapped it around with some wire to make it heavy so that it can just sit in the vase. And because it is wire, you see I can adjust it and I can place it the way I want to place it on the vase by giving it a good squeeze. But okay, and I have a nice beautiful grand one here. This is a really heavy vase. Okay, because of the weight of the vase, I actually used a popsicle stick. Okay, so I just wrapped the pipe cleaner around the popsicle stick. And I like the popsicle stick because it's flat, you know, and it will hold on to the bow very nicely. You can also not use a popsicle stick. Depending on the type of arrangement and type of flowers you're using, you can probably just tie the pipe cleaner around the stem, or somehow fit it in between the flowers. Or if you're using foam in your floral arrangement, you can also just stick it in the foam. So that's that. And lastly, with a little bit of what we did from last week, so I incorporated the curling ribbon bow with the cotton bow, and this one is also wired at the sides. Okay, and I put it together, and if you see, everything's nice and curly and cutesy, and then I tied it around the vase as such. There. Excellent. So I hope you had fun again today. As I said, the thing with the ribbons, you just have to keep practicing, and more practicing. Next week, we're going to get into custom bows. So we're going to have fun, where we're going to be making up our own creative bows, basically, now that you've got the concept of bow making. I hope you join me next week as well. Please don't hesitate, as I said, to give me a like, to drop a comment, and to subscribe to the channel so that we can grow the channel. I thank you so much for your time. I thank you that you spent some time with me. So you have an absolutely positively wonderful day from marliesflowers.ca. Ciao.